Well, hello my YouTube friends. It's been quite a while since I haven't done a video on YouTube. That's why just before going to G10, I was also excited. First of all, because I love to go to those shows and meet all my friends and everything. Second of all, because I knew that I would come back with a haul as usual. And third of all, of course, it would have been my pleasure to make a lot of YouTube video and a review after the show. So, during the show, I didn't score as much as I wanted. It was kind of poor. I was not lucky at all. But I got to have a couple of deliveries. One that was expected, the Jonas Iglesias knife, which I'm going to review after. And this one, which was also a delivery, but totally unexpected. I didn't know at all that they would bring it to the show. So it was a surprise. That's why I wanted to jump on this video first, and then we will do the other one. A word about Begg. So you know for sure that Begg, the Begg company, started with Todd, Mark, and Matthias, stuff like that. And they grew and grew and grew. And basically you had, at the end, Todd, who was making like the custom knives, and the company grew making mid-tech, extremely well done mid-tech, in-house done, and production knives outsourced by Riate or some other company in the world. Now, I'm not going to extend in the issue that Beggs have, but basically we have only now the in-house work, mid-tech of an extremely high quality, which this one is. I'm going to come back to that. And no more custom knives done exclusively by Todd, who is now working for Damasteel and no more in the company. Now, what do we have here? We have something that is kind of unique in the entire custom world. Maybe Morphionic also can be can have this kind of same consideration as extremely high quality mid-tech done in-house and with a lot of work done by hand. Other than those guys, I don't see a lot of competition in that domain, and this is the closest thing to perfection that you can find. I mean, again, the frontier at that level is extremely thin with the custom world. So that, for me, I wish that all custom can be as well made. This is just a brilliant work. I didn't have the chance. I just had this order, and I didn't have the chance to even try one in hand. And believe me, I am just astounded. I knew the quality of their work because I used to have other knife from the Begg before that. But this one goes over and beyond anything I could ever imagine. They are growing in the quality. I mean, they are improving in a way that I don't even think that it's possible to go over that. It is just insane. That is why I'm going to review the knife. That is why I am extremely excited to do that video. So the design, look at this design. I mean, it is wicked. They went for a design that is made by a gentleman called Jared Van Otto. He's doing more and more design for the custom knife makers. And I mean, check that. Just how wicked is that design? It's just brilliant. It's called the Astio. I don't know if I mentioned that. I mean, at first glance, when I saw that design, I knew that I was gonna get a knife with that design from the Begg. I mean, it was just obvious. And any one of you who has just, I don't know, a fetish for knife, who likes knives, I think it's a kind of obviously beautiful. If anything like that can happen, but honestly, I don't see anyone that wouldn't be impressed and excited by the design. Just that. The rest, I mean, you can discuss, but just the design, looks like the closest thing to the obvious beauty, which is kind of weird in my mouth when I say that, because there's nothing less obvious than taste. But anyhow, it looks honestly like something like sexy that anyone could appreciate. Love the design. Now, let's do the review of that knife, starting, because there are so many things to say, I don't want to miss anything, starting with the handle, sorry. We have here a handle that leaves a room for 2 inlays, and man, the work of inlays here, I'm going to try to focus on that, is impressive. It is seamless here. You can't feel the junctions. There is a kind of contouring here, so after that you see the contouring, but the junction itself, you just can't feel it. And look at that, you have the other one that is perfectly inlaid too. Now, let's go with those inlays. When I asked them, I wanted that kind of design, which is done by a Japanese gentleman called Takeshi Ishinaga, something like that. I don't want to misspell it, not misspell it, but to twist his name. I think it's Ishinaga something, whatever. I asked them to have, like a skull mandarin, like samurai, and man, check the design that he made. It is absolutely phenomenal. They use it for other of their knives. But it's I mean, I'm astounded. That is exactly what I wanted to have on the knife. So I wanted to have it on a kind of full scale, but they said it was impossible because of the pivot here and it couldn't match and everything. So I understand better now why. So I didn't know what to do here. They did also that kind of engraved inlay, but I think that it matches perfectly and they were so clever. First of all, let me tell you, this is laser engraved with wire EDM, the best technology you can find in the market, and the dots that you see here that looks a bit like orange are orange actually because those are copper inlays. Now, how tedious it is, it's done by hand, to just inlay, of course with the help of machine, but to inlay those little suckers here. Copper inlays, all those dots that you see. And I thought in a way that this wouldn't match this, but look how clever they have been. They started with the engraving of the skull here, and they started, what accent is that? I don't know. They started the pattern that you have here in this inlay. So look at that, you have the dots here, here also, like half a dot here, and it starts the rest of the inlay. So now it blends so well, check that beauty, with the upper inlay. Insane work. Now, I mean, I'm just gonna shut up, and let you appreciate the quality of this engraving. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Now, also what I thought would be great would be to have a GLC coated frame because the other one was gray, and I think that it took a little bit off the kind of dramatic aspect that you have, and it brings some wickedness to have GLC coated like that, all jeweled, and man, was I right. I mean, I can't imagine this in gray. It would take off the dramatic aspect of this of those engraving. Check the beautiful finish here of the DLC coated jeweled frame. Insane. The same on the back spacer with the structure here. Absolutely beautiful. The design of the clip is insane. I love when it's aerial like that. You look through it and you have this big ceramic bowl here. Just perfect. I carried the knife, Now check the construction. This part here of the lock just goes here to that part here. You see the limit that you have here. Basically, this is one piece. So it's interchangeable. So if the lock fails for some reason, you can change just this part and don't change the rest of the frame, which is something that is just brilliant and very, very, very clever. Just one thing that I would say, that the only thing negative that I could say on this knife is, as usual with them, they are using a tremendous amount of screws, and I think that they could probably limit them to one here, and one here. That would be probably sufficient, but that is the only thing. Yeah, other than that, this is just pure beauty. So yeah, like I said, this one is one piece, and it goes along with the backspacer there. So interchangeable piece that is just brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. A lot of people should do that. The idea is just perfect. Other than that, if you have a lock failure or something like that, you have to replace all the scale. This is just a fantastic, fantastic idea. Now, check again. You can appreciate it better on this side, the frame with that DLC coating. Oh man, I just adore it. Now, I absolutely adore also this touch that you have here on the lock with the fuller and the holes in it. Of course, it is to go, check that view that you have here. With the lock here, boom, and the fuller and the hole, just to go along with the blade. Just fantastic. Again, you have this inlay on this side with the copper inlays, just beautiful. Now the action, I mean, check. The tolerances are fair, okay? Check the engagement, early and secure. It is rock solid, effortless to disengage, just smooth as they can come. Very nice detent. Check that view here. I mean, I love when those guys do fuller that stops here at some point and come back here. You have this aspect of bird's eye that I absolutely, absolutely adore. Now check the tip, how precise is the tip. Boom, boom, even here. It is just phenomenal, phenomenal. I love this view. I mean, each time I see it, it is to me just amazing, amazing. It's perfectly well centered, perfectly well. Just beautiful. Action is sublime, as you can see. Now, just one word, because we are heading to the 12 minutes now. So 3 minutes to speak about that blade. Now, check that. I mean, the mirror polish is just... I'm going to try to find if I can see a reflection. Of course, you can see. Oh, there you go. You have my fingers there. You have the lens of the camera. Absolutely perfect, perfect mirror polish. Sorry about the grease of my finger on the swedge there, but look at this beauty. The recurve that you have here. I'm talking about something else now, which is the grind. The grind is sublime. Check the tip here. Also mirror. The swedge, mirror. And the flat, which are satin. And the fuller with the holes of different diameter that is polished inside. It is just mesmerizing. I am in shock and awe with this knife. I just love the hell out of it. Check that beauty. And how wicked is the design. I mean, I'll just love it. Love it. Function-wise, it's a great knife. Not too big, not too small. I mean, you've got a perfect hold of the knife with here. You have the flipper tab that gives you a guard. No jimping here, but you have the ramp. I like to put my thumb on it. Again, it's a knife that I'm not probably going to use for hard task. What a beautiful watch. Nice patina. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's not a knife that I will put it at hard use, but if you want to use that knife and have a design, I mean, a finish which like would be like just titanium frame with micarta inlays and satin. This is a knife with a more EDC finish that can be very, very nicely used for everyday purposes. We are now at 14 minutes. I wanted just to say how much I appreciated that show, how much I thank Mark and Mattia for that extremely beautifully done and well executed knife. It was really a surprise for me, and I appreciated that very much. This is a knife that I will hold dear in my heart for a lot of reasons, but even if I didn't just like those guys as much as I do, I would appreciate that as just almost a work of art, which it is. I mean, the design is a work of art, the engraving are a work of art. This is a work of art, and this is the closest thing to a custom work to have for me. I left all my production and mid-tech knife. I don't have any more. This is the only one I have, and I'm just blown away by that. Bye bye, my friend. It was a pleasure to do that video again, and I'll see you very soon.